Hi everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another one of my course logs. Now this time, we're out here at Singing Hills Golf Club at Sycuan Resort. We're playing the Oak Glen course. This is the better of the two big long golf courses out here, and a much desired location down here in the San Diego County. If you're new to the channel, please click the subscribe down below. I'd love to have you back here week after week. And at the end of the video, don't forget to give this one a thumbs up when you're done. Hey, we'll see you out there on number 10. It's a par 5, straight down.
Number 10 here, straight next to the snack bar. And this golf hole, there's not much to talk about here. It's stick straight, going straight east into that rising sun. It's going to have a couple bunkers here around the green, protecting the approach shot. But otherwise, give it all you got. And if you have enough, you might be able to get here in two. Now, coming off the birdie on the 9th hole, it was my first birdie of the day after a lot of pars on the front nine. This golf course parallels a lot of the fairways here, so after spraying it right, I'm right in the middle of the 18th fairway here, have a crystal clear shot into the green, and just lay it short here in the greenside bunker. Looking to get up and down for an easy birdie. A little splash out with the sand wedge, leaving this ball underneath the hole, and we got 4 feet for back-to-back birdies. Right back to even par through 10, and we're on to a long stretch of par 4s, 4 in a row here. The 380-yard par 4 11th is going to have a bunker on the left-hand side that really serves as the only hazard on this hole. It's a narrowing fairway, and if you're over towards the left and towards that bunker, you're going to have some trees come into play as well. Otherwise, if the pin is on the back right, you might also have some trees there dealing with coming into the green. Just that little bunker on the left-hand side also to deal with, but it's really hidden from the fairway. Today we're dealing with a back right hole location. I had to clear some space away on the tee box with the leaves and hit a smoking 2-iron down the left-hand side, and I thought I placed it right in the bunker, but luckily it was up on top of the ridge here on top of the bunker. Trying to punch it under the tree in front of me and over the next one, it went square into the tree short of the green. A solid 90 yards here all the way back to this hole location, and I left myself a decent 15 feet for par. Never up, never in. A bogey after a birdie is not ideal as we're on to the par 4 12th. Over 400 yards. There's not very many par 4s here that play this long, so this one is a little bit more difficult than most. And it is narrow just like the rest of the golf course, with trouble on both sides this time. Bunkers down the right and some very hilly terrain down the left, and OB down the left if you're really far left. Those overhanging trees are really going to pinch your approach shot and make you hit a big full shot over the top. But don't be deceived by that bunker. It's a good 30 yards short of the green, and there's not much trouble ultimately when you get all the way down there.
Yeah. No, I'm not going over those trees and around those trees.
Over those trees and around the bushes, just down the left-hand side and in that awkward terrain. The ball was well above my feet and came off really dead off the club here. Landing about 20 yards short. I'm going to have to get this one up and down. But the short game was working. This one rolled out to about 6 feet, and the camera decided to glitch out for me once again on the long par putt. But as you can hear from my partners, I did make it. A nice par to head on down to lucky number 13, 357 yards, and it is nothing but trouble. Bunkers down the right and that gigantic lake down the left really require you to choose your club properly off the tee. This is not just grab a driver and go. Make sure you're hitting something as straight as possible, giving yourself a solid 150 to 175 yards into this green typically, and that whole location has moved back to the center for us today. The 4-iron for me is a great club off the tee, about 235 yards in the air, and I really never miss it. Leaving myself a full pitching wedge here into the green. I really wanted that ball to sit down as it was just jumping all the way back to the back portion of this green, leaving myself a big, long 30-footer for birdie. But it was nice to cozy it on down there for the first comfy tap-in par of the back nine. Leaving myself at 1 over par. We're seeking out that birdie to get back down to even. Now 14 here is the same distance as 13, but it's got a lot less trouble as that lake cuts out after about 125 yards off the tee, and the last half of the hole here is relatively tame. A big bunker down the right will gobble up any short right approach shots, but otherwise, this has got a lot more room down this fairway than most of the holes here. Try to take advantage. Today, our hole location is in the back left portion of this green, and with a little bit of wind behind me, I was feeling it with the driver. Now, I pushed this one off just a little bit, thinking I was going to be in that giant bunker just short right of the green, but it was over the cart path here on a terrible dirt lie. Playing the ball off the back of my stance, I got this thing to nip and spin beautifully, checking up to about 10 feet underneath the hole for another makeable birdie putt.
Yeah.
But we just power it right through the lip, chase it down, and tap it in for par. Now, 15 here is the only par 3 on the entire back nine. Very unique on this golf course. There's only 3 par 3s and 3 par 5s. 202 yards from the very back tee. We were not playing all the way back. The blue tees were moved up slightly. My 8-iron goes about 175 yards, so I was playing this comfortably to fly that front bunker and get anywhere here on the green. Just a little push out to the right-hand side of the green. I had to lag down this 30-footer, and it wasn't quite down in tap-in range, but I was able to get it to go for another par, and we are on to 16. The toughest par 4 and the toughest hole on the entire back nine. This one's going to be treacherous down the left-hand side as the hole slightly bends to the left. You're going to want to take as much off of this as you can and just feather that left-hand side. Those little juniper trees are up on top of a perched hill, so your ball may kick down into the fairway. But beware, the other side of that hill is that riverbed, and it's going to swallow up your ball for a penalty. Heading over this ditch in the fairway to the green, this is the backside of the double green shared with hole 2, and it's going to be playing just to the middle of the green for us today. Now, I had confidence with my cut today. It was just cutting about 5 to 10 yards and not quite enough. I was almost stymied by this tree. I couldn't aim at the front of the green, but I could take a full sand wedge right over this tree in front of me and on to the left-hand side of the green. 20 feet for birdie.
Yeah. Whoa, what was that little left right here? Right here, just jump left.
It's another par, and we're on to the last par 4 of the day. We've had a lot of them today. 17 here is going to curve a little bit to the right, only 360 yards from the tips. It's not going to need a driver, so you can just place it down there short of these trees that really start on the bend of the par 4, leaving yourself a good 150 to 100 yards into this safe green, protected only by 1 bunker on the right-hand side. And if you are really short, it could come all the way back into that ditch. Now, I was feeling a little bit reckless, and my teammates told me just to go for it. I was hitting the cut all day long and trusted that this one might bleed right with the slope of the hole, but it went straight through the dogleg. Now this 99 yards, that's a full sand wedge for me, and that little baby tree in front of me was not anywhere close to some trouble. Another one at 10 feet for another look at birdie. This is starting to get frustrating. Not seeing any putts go in. I was not trusting these greens as they looked great, but they were just not true. A little bit bumpy. Now this closing par 5, 18, is over 500 yards and going to require 2 great shots to get all the way home. Now as we were there, they were just putting the finishing touches on the remodeled 18th green, and you're going to see it here. It looks absolutely beautiful. But that means for us, we had to play to a temporary green, which was sitting in the fairway about 75 yards short of that beautiful green. Playing up and over the little bit of a ravine here, oh man, I can only imagine how difficult a back left hole location would be here on the closing hole. Now I really tried to rear back here and just missed it off to the right once again. Hey, when I played the 10th, I was on the 18th fairway, and now I'm playing the 18th and I'm back on the 10th fairway. What do you know? Just a little bit of crisscross golf. This is a layup with a 4-iron just short of the temporary green. We're going to chip it on and have a little bit of a, 6-7 footer here for birdie across maybe one of the worst terrains I've ever tried to make a putt on. Everybody just kind of wiggled it around there.
Well, that's pretty difficult to end on a temporary green, an 8-footer that was given to me because it's on the fairway, so we'll take it. Hey, we'll catch you next time. Later.